this is madness. Isn't this insanity? We have issues that are screaming for government attention, screaming for it. And we have a Republican leadership that is so used to giving Trump a blowjob that they have lost their ability to function as a governing body, the Republican Party in the Senate. And we have a president who is crazy. He's out of his fucking mind. He is giving in to his first neurotic, now psychotic images of what he has to do because there are hordes coming. There are masses of people. They're coming. Oh! Trump is terrified of people. He wants nothing to do with people. The only time he's comfortable with people is if they are shouting, "Lock her up." 2 fucking years after the election, they're still screaming this. These brain-dead sons of bitches that Trump sees as his base. And even then, watch him sometimes when he's giving one of these speeches. Watch his body language. It's the body language of a man who knows that he's trapped. While these people are cheering for him and wearing their little fucking red hats and pushing BBC cameramen around, they could also turn on him. Do you remember the scene in Suddenly Last Summer when Elizabeth Taylor's character's cousin, what was his name? Sebastian. Elizabeth Taylor and Sebastian. Sebastian would go on these trips. This is back in the day when you couldn't say he was a gay man. He was a homosexual. He couldn't say it. But the movie made clear that Sebastian would take Elizabeth on trips because Elizabeth was so voluptuous, and Sebastian bought her bathing suits that would, how do I say this, be see-through. And they would go to places like Acapulco, which is, I believe, where this particular film was filmed, where this movie was filmed. And Sebastian would insist that Elizabeth go into the water at the beach while Sebastian would sit on one of the chairs on the beach. And all the boys, young men, would swarm around because, oh my God, look at Elizabeth. And Sebastian would then he would pick ones that he thought he might be able to seduce and do so. Well, in a macho society like the one in this movie, homosexuality was seen as, I don't know, worse than death, I guess. So there is a scene where finally, because he is a rich Norteamericano, and he is a gay man, and he has been leading these young boys into this situation where he can have sex with them after he gets them drunk, and he has been using his cousin as bait. Finally, these young males realize this. So the day comes, and as Elizabeth said, it was a very hot day. It was so hot. And the sun was so bright. And Sebastian and I were trying to get to the water. Elizabeth Taylor, I'm not. And all of a sudden they come around a corner in little alleyways and narrow streets of this Mexican village. And there's this gang of boys, and they're standing there in a very menacing way. And Sebastian sees that, and he starts to run because he knows what's going on. So this group of boys run right by Elizabeth, and they're chasing Sebastian. And they're going up steps, and Sebastian, he's not a young man, and he starts to clutch his chest because, he's being chased by these people, and they're screaming, and they're carrying musical instruments, and they're pounding on things. And Elizabeth, while she's relating all this to her therapist, and they were making noises, and they were laughing and screaming, and they were beating on drums and blowing horns. And they finally corner Sebastian at the very top of these streets that go straight up. and they pull him down into this group, and they tear him to pieces. It's quite a movie. Suddenly, last summer. So, well, yeah. Did they eat him? It leaves that part for you to guess.
No, she screamed it. Didn't she? They ate him. They ate him. She screamed.
I don't think she screamed they ate him. I think she screamed they were tearing at his flesh. Yeah, look it up. I don't know why I started telling that story. Do you have any idea? I don't either. Tourism. That's right. Tourism money could be lost. Although some people will come to see the wall. And when they come to see the wall, they better be careful, because people on the other side of the wall may, and I'm sure this is going to happen, they may be pissed off, furious, angry, because the wall is being built to tell them they're no fucking good. You're a rapist, but I'm a woman with 3 children. Doesn't matter, then you're a drug dealer. I don't do drugs. Doesn't matter, then you're a terrorist. I don't do terror. I'm trying to raise my children. Nothing good is going to come from Trump's psychosis. Nothing good has come. Nothing good will come. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcasts. You have your choice. You can listen to the ranting with the audio podcast, or listen and watch me lose control with a video podcast subscription. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.